soccer. As ever, the room for complacency, even for the most established of nations. Cote d'Ivoire will relish the chance of upsetting the odds here and progressing into the knockout stages.
It's time for the countdown to kickoff, powered by Aramco. Todos intentent du COTEd'IVOIRE match propulsé par Aramco.
There's pedigree throughout one side, there's potential and unpredictability on the other. We are good to go in Toronto, and it will be Germany to start us. An encounter that could be captivating. A footballing heavyweight against a very capable underdog. 90 minutes from now, one side could take control of Group E. And Germany, in the opening seconds, trying to be that side through Kai Havertz.
Havertz is the sort of player who can finish. He's obviously got incredible quality. But is he going to be consistent? He's going to be ruthless in front of net. That is a big question for Germany. In a side that really historically have had wonderful finishers up top. If there's any criticism or weakness against the German side, it's this: they lack that in this edition of the World Cup 26.
Yes, there isn't a Klose or a Klinsmann or a Bierhoff.
They're all in the house.
Yeah, well, they are. Yes, they're all having a look at this game, and they do have a striker who's had a wonderful season in Dennis Undav on the bench, but it's the sort of almost false nine formation that's worked well for them so well in match day one. I have a terrific talent. Sometimes people aren't quite sure where to put him in a footballing lineup.
Well, that's right, and one thing about this German side, as we know, is that they have a number of weapons that can hurt you. And always the defensive structure of the side is strong, but the attacking on set pieces is really brilliant from the Germans as well. So they can hurt you in many different ways, and they hope that they can mix the goals around and be successful with that without an out-and-out striker, if you like.
Very early goals and extremely late goals have been a bit of a theme of late at these finals. So we'll have to be on our toes from the off and until the very end too. Just a few days ago we were here witnessing Ghana grab victory against Panama with very close to the final kick of the game. Germany stepping forward here with Schlotterbeck, looking for Leroy Sané, one of the more experienced in the German ranks. Back to Joshua Kimmich, the captain of the side. Picked up 2 assists in the matchday 1 victory over Curacao. Pavlovic, who was key to just keeping everything ticking in the middle of the park in that game. Here come Cote d'Ivoire with Boni. Diamande ruffling some feathers a moment ago to set them on their way. Here he is again, with options aplenty gathering in the middle. And it wouldn't quite squirm to anyone in Ivory Coast colours. Advantage played, it bounces away from Musiala and all the way back to Yaya Fofana in the Cote d'Ivoire goal. Already an example at either end of the attacking prowess that we should see plenty of today.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, but we know that obviously Cote d'Ivoire, when we talk about their defensive solidarity, it's quite something. 10 World Cup qualifying games, not a single goal conceded. Fofana in goal. The coach holds him in high regards as one of the all-time 11 African players. That gives you an idea how good a goalkeeper Fofana is.
You mentioned such a remarkable rate of defensive play in qualifying. We're so strong at the back. They've got a fair few who can cause trouble going forward, as we're seeing in these early moments. Although the offside flag there will prevent them from having a corner. Well, you have to keep an eye on this guy, Jan Diamande.
Oh, he's brilliant. He just needs a half a yard trying to pick out somebody making a run in the box. There was a couple bodies in there for Cote d'Ivoire, but the pace and strength is certainly evident.
Just for a moment, he was sort of holding his groin area there, but then went down and has tweaked the ankle, perhaps. So we'll keep an eye on him to just run the rule over his welfare in the coming moments. Not quite moving at 100%, as that is belted away by Yaya Fofana. Doesn't look totally happy. He's the kind of player, though, who in a game can seemingly be drifting around and then suddenly can produce something spectacular. Cote d'Ivoire did not concede a goal, as you say, in their 10 qualifying matches. They play as a back four, sometimes a back three. Helped out by a dogged, disciplined defensive midfield setup as well. Germany may have to be patient to break this side down. Back to Schlotterbeck, who scored his first international goal on match day 1. Here to Manuel Neuer. Today's his 21st World Cup appearance, the most of any goalkeeper. A player who wasn't involved in qualifying because he hung up his international gloves before being tempted out of retirement for the finals. Yaya Fofana suddenly looked up and saw Kai Havertz closing him down. So important that a side as talented as Germany marry up the ability with the intensity required against a side like this. Bonnie without much support here, so he's going to travel with it himself. Helped out now by Diamande, who somehow squeezed through a gap that didn't seem to be there. Bonnie's ball in, collected by Kessier. That is loose, and it's Germany's as a result. Musiala able to go through the gears, slotting it through to someone else who can shift in Leroy Sané. He scored 3 times in his last 6 caps as well. The former Manchester City winger. Plying his trade in Galatasaray these days in Turkey.
You would have thought that there's certainly some suggestions when he made the move to Galatasaray that may be at the end of his international career, but he had an absolutely outstanding season. Here he is, performing well with Germany.
It's Diamante. Just now taking it on and tangling with Felix Metscher, who is hard to get past in that German midfield. Hard to stop when he has a go at goal, by the way, as well, as you could see against Curaçao. Scored a super opener, his 2nd international goal, the other one coming in a Nations League away draw against Hungary a good 18 months or so ago. German throw, despite the Cote d'Ivoire protests. Here's Nathaniel Brown. With a roll for Havertz, who tried that little deft touch, which was just deflected away from Florian Wirtz. He's worked hard to win it back. Pavlovic. Touched on by Mecha. In by Kimmich. And the header is levered away by Yaya Fofana. Kai Havertz showing his physical presence in the air.
What a wonderful ball in to Havertz. It did both of the... Gets on the end of it, gets it front off the shoulder of the defender, gets a decent header down. The goalkeeper's backpedaling a bit, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for Fofana to make the save. If it was right in the corner, I don't think he would have got it.
4 goals in his last 3 caps for Kai Havertz, including a couple in the last game. Didn't play in qualifying at all due to injury. There is a knock here for Nico Schlotterbeck.
Here's another look at the header. Brilliantly done. Comes off his shoulder a little bit. Fools the goalkeeper. You just see as he backpedals. Can't get quite the spring on it. Takes no chances. Trying to hold on to it. Palms it to safety.
Both attempts in the match so far have come from Kai Havertz. First one just 12 seconds in. Really frustrated he perhaps didn't do better with that one. As Musiala is sent crashing to the ground.
Schlotterbeck is definitely struggling. Shake off that knock.
Last thing he wants at the moment is the ball, but he has it. Deciding not to do anything too clever with it.
He's not at all happy at the moment.
Now he has some defensive work to ponder. Diamante running at Kimmich, looking for support, which he gets. And they have plenty forward here. On the strike was fearsome. It was Wilfried Singo who put plenty behind that.
Yeah, does he ever? I mean, it's a really good strike. He hits it well. He's blocked by the Gerbers as they close down, but that little bit of half space, half yard, was able to get on the end of it. Really nice strike. Decent challenges. Well, that's Schlotterbeck, is it? That's when he might have picked up that knock. Still trying to shake that off.
Carrying on for now, as indeed are Germany here with Pavlovic. On from Wirtz. Sane now. Mecha. Schlotterbeck getting involved. Musiala once again. Jonathan Tah. Schlotterbeck for Kai Havertz. He's looking to score in 4 successive German appearances for the first time today. Will come into these finals relatively fresh because of an injury-punctuated season. You can look at that 2 ways, I guess. Perhaps the fitness isn't quite there, but the freshness will be, as long as he is fully fit to play.
Yeah, exactly. He played 12 games in the end for Arsenal at the end of the season, but from springtime on, he was fit. So I think that take that in the ladder, that he should be sharp and ready to go. And a lot of these players have played an awful lot of league football, big matches as well. Obviously, with Havertz and Arsenal making right to the Champions League final.
Diamante giving chase, and for once his first touch lets him down. And by the way he is taking the tape off, you wonder if Germany might have to take him off. Nico Schlotterbeck still seemingly in some distress. Played a couple of times at the last World Cup. 90 minutes in the group stage defeat against Japan. A few minutes as a substitute in the draw against Spain. And he's had his best scoring season in his domestic campaign. 5 goals for Borussia Dortmund, his previous best campaign. The 4 goals. Germany send out a couple of very able replacements in Antonio Rudiger and Waldemar Anton to warm up in case he is unable to carry on. Just looked like that ankle took a bit of a jarring in that coming together.
Yeah, they haven't made a decision as of yet on him. The shot of Rudi Völler.
Yes, part of the German hierarchy these days, technical director.
Legend.
As a player, he represented his country, either West Germany or the unified Germany, in 3 World Cups, 3 European Championships, played in 2 consecutive World Cup finals. Ironically, both against Argentina, scoring from the bench in defeat in Mexico '86, winning as a starter in Italia '90, and someone you've come up against in the past.
That's right, yeah, he's one of his goals internationally was a friendly prior to the '94 World Cup. Scored late in that game, I remember it well. In fact, I got his jersey. Maybe I should try to get it signed later.
Pavlovic has just dropped back into that German backline in the absence of Schlotterbeck, who looks like he's going to give it a go. And he's allowed back on the field. Diamande. First time looking for Ghislain Conin. As Schlotterbeck returns. Little grimace.
It's a World Cup. You do not want to come off if this is absolutely necessary. So he's going to give it a few minutes to see how he manages on that left ankle.
Takes his place in a Germany side which has won their last 10 matches across all competitions coming into today. Their best such run since 12 victories in a row in the late 70s, early 80s. Genuine feeling that they are part of the World Cup winning conversation as they gallop forward here looking for Havertz and Sané. Daniel Brown, someone to watch on that Germany left-hand side, scoring his first senior international goal and picking up an assist on match day 1. Just turned 23 as well in the last few days. Pavlovic. Taken down beautifully and fired narrowly wide by Jamal Musiala, who is so dangerous in that kind of position.
They had some decent looks already, Germany. Good ball possession, good movement, good control of the ball. Gets a half a step here on the Cote d'Ivoire defenders. He gets a decent shot in that wasn't far off that post of Fofana.
Thumbs up all round. Very nearly nestling in the bottom corner. Another player who played no part in qualifying, Jamal Musiala, because he was out with a broken leg and dislocated ankle sustained at the Club World Cup last summer. Returned to action in January after just short of 200 days on the sidelines. Had his first 90 minutes in March, so another player who's up to speed by now, but relatively fresh, and certainly showed against Curacao. Cote d'Ivoire wanting a free kick, but it's a German throw-in instead, as Bonny is told to get to his feet. Pavlovic back to Tar. He has it again from Kimmich. Schlotterbeck. Pace picked up for Nathaniel Brown to try and slob it through, but it's alert goalkeeping from Fofana. Cote d'Ivoire have never progressed beyond the group stages at a FIFA World Cup. They're playing at their 4th edition of the finals, their first since 2014. Also taking part in 2006 and 2010. Their 10 qualifiers ended up in 8 victories and just 1 defeat. Well, 8 victories and 2 draws, I should say, in qualifying. Unbeaten side and couldn't concede either. Standing up to the early German pressure well here. Pass a little loose. Metzer can hit them. He well and truly can hit them, and maybe the deflection saved Cote d'Ivoire on that occasion.
Yeah, closed down very quickly, as we've seen in many occasions already in this match as well. Metzer with a decent strike. Wins a corner for Germany.
Corner which is going to be taken by Nathaniel Brown. He makes a signal that his teammates will understand in terms of what's coming next. Finish with the ball over. Fofana's lost it. It's Pavlovic who's with him, and it's given as a goal. Or is it? I think it might actually be a case of the goalkeeper being bailed out here.
I got to be honest with you, from the first sight of that, I just think that's poor goalkeeping. He needs to be much stronger than that, Dave. I think that it's a decent ball in for sure, and I think it's just a challenge against the goalkeeper. Against Pavlovic, very, very difficult one. Goalkeepers are well protected, as we know, and as a former goalkeeper, I have to say that I would find myself in a fortunate position if that was given a foul.
Well, I think had it gone in, it would have been an own goal by Fofana rather than an international goal for Pavlovic.
Yeah, for a goalkeeper that's highly rated, his body shape and his way he's dealt with that has to be better. The balance and his center of gravity was in all the wrong positions to be able to deal with that properly.
Now the referee here just making sure that Cote d'Ivoire players don't take it upon themselves here to have a hydration break of their own or take on any tactical nous from Amos Faye, because of course in this edition of the World Cup finals, if a goalkeeper is treated, it is not meant to be seen as a signal for everyone to have a break. Just to make sure that injuries are genuine, which I think maybe on this case there was a knock for Fofana to deal with. But Pavlovic still asking the question about how that isn't a German opener.
Of course, all in the interpretation of the referee. I was watching the assistant, didn't look as though he gave the call, and it was a kind of a strange decision by the referee. He actually pointed, it looked as though it was a goal that he was giving, but as it turns out, a foul against the goalkeeper, Fofana.
Early warning for the African sides. Kimmich is it back from Pavlovic. Schlotterbeck seems to be okay now after that knock to the ankle. Metzer. Sané. Trying to find that half a yard for a cross. Pavlovic with a touch which gives Kimmich a bit of extra work to do, and finally gives Neuer the ball. He's not seen that for a little while. And with that, we will pause for the first hydration break here in Toronto today.
You're going back home for the games?
Oh, I wish.
Hey!
Tap in. Tap in.
Across the pond, please.
Sorry, mate. Don't go.
This first half so far, that effort from Alexander Pavlovic ruled out for a foul. He's actually had the most touches in the game so far, 36 in the opening 24 or so minutes, completing all of his 34 passes, which is the kind of player he is, isn't he? Really patrolling the middle of the park and making things happen. So many people interested in the game today. The president of the Cameroonian Football Federation, Samuel Eto'o, better known, of course, to many of us as one of the greatest strikers of his generation. Over 100 caps, over 50 goals, and a CV full of success, including 4 league titles across Spain and Italy, and 3 Champions League crowns, and 2 AFCON winners' medals as well. A lot of ability watching on from the stands, as well as actually playing this game between these two nations. He was very frustrated to see that goal ruled out. Julian Nagelsmann, to Germany head coach in September 2023, now has a deal running through till after the next European Championships. Already guided Germany to the Euro 2024 quarter-finals, the Nations League semi-finals. There have been many people tracking where these sides might go next if they were to qualify for the knockouts, and who they might face. It's still a bit early to be really doing that, but both in with a real shout of proceeding. Here's Diomande, lovely ball over. Where's it going? It's going in! Franck Kessié! The Group E picture changes with one touch of the ball. Cote d'Ivoire were looking for someone to take charge, and up stepped their captain.
we see the threat from Yan Diomande down this left-hand side on a couple of occasions, and he's had a couple bad touches, but this time he gets the ball right into the dangerous area, and Kessié gets it into the back of the net after a good block by the Germans, and a great opportunity by Amad Diallo. First of all, blocked on the line. It looked destined to get to Neuer. It doesn't. Kessié bashes it in against the run of play, you could say, certainly possession-wise, but that's the threat that Cote d'Ivoire offer. And they've got on the board first here, and a bit of a surprise in Toronto.
Well, they were victorious on match day one. And as a nation, they have never won 2 matches at a single edition of the World Cup finals. They have the lead thanks to a beautifully guided strike towards goal. And after all the German press, all the German play, all the German patience, it's Cote d'Ivoire who have their noses in front. Antonio Rudiger once again going through his warm-up routine. I'm not sure what the signal was there from Schlotterbeck towards the bench, whether he is still struggling. So many players, of course, out warming up at the moment because of the size of the squads. The World Cup finals, trying to keep everybody ticking over and ready for action. Those on the field need to be on their toes as well as those going through their paces. Cote d'Ivoire strong in the challenge, driving on and always looking for that little bit of X factor from Diomande. Christ Inau to Cotonou. A chance to attack the box once again. Kessié hovering.
I'm surprised that they're giving Diomande as much space. Kimmich is just not close enough to him. He doesn't fancy a one-on-one duel with Diomande, and he's being able to find space on this left-hand side with ease.
Here he is with Joshua Kimmich. Of course, the two of them play in Germany. In terms of club football, Kimmich with Bayern Munich, Diomande with RB Leipzig. Yan Diomande was Bundesliga Rookie of the Year this season just finished, and Joshua Kimmich was saying in the week a year ago hardly anyone knew who he was. Now everyone knows who he is,
including Kimmich in a big way.
Lovely touch to bring it down. Schlotterbeck, though, guiding it away from Bonny, who didn't give up the fight. The concession of that goal from the Cote d'Ivoire captain, Franck Kessié, means that Germany are now 8 matches without a clean sheet. That's their worst run since 1934 to 1954, when they went 9 World Cup matches without keeping the opposition out. Bright start to the game in some ways, but a sour note for Julian Nagelsmann in the last few minutes.
That decision for Fofana is a big turning point in this first half.
Julian Nagelsmann is still just 38 years young, the youngest head coach at the World Cup this year, the youngest German head coach ever at a World Cup, beating the record of Franz Beckenbauer, who was just 40 in the 1986 version. Only around 16 months younger than Manuel Neuer, who's out of retirement to play.
He hasn't had an awful lot to do in this tournament, Neuer, except pick the ball out of the net a couple times. No chance on either one. Cote d'Ivoire, a little deflection over top of him. Nice that that country was able to have a moment in that 7-1 defeat.
Yeah, moment for Oliver Baumann as well, one of the substitute goalkeepers who played every minute of qualifying. The only German player to do so. And then, as the tournament finals edged closer, well, Neuer it was who got the shout for the gloves. Here's the goal.
Brilliantly worked. Put it into the dangerous area. It looked as though the chance might have gone. Yes, yeah, it just comes in late and bangs it in on the second opportunity.
Sané back to Kimmich. Jonathan Tah. Pavlovic. Tah once again. Towards Havertz, but well, I thought it was going to bobble through towards Fofana. Manuel Aguado taking no chances. Performed well in a struggling Wolverhampton Wanderers side in the English Premier League before moving to Turkey to join Besiktas in January. Sané. Havertz trying to peel out wide to get involved a little more. Sané again. Musiala hovering. Worked it well. And for a moment it looked like it was going to escape from them. Pavlovic. Kessie just tumbling. Kimmich under pressure. Pavlovic. Well, he goes to ground as Cote d'Ivoire gallop forward. Diomande for Bonnet. Looking to bend it. Manuel Neuer watched it all the way into the gloves.
Germany's got to be very careful in these breaks because they're attacking with numbers on the counter-attack when they lose possession. It's not Bonnie with a chance. Neuer saves comfortably.
No foul. Strong challenge, but a fair one it would seem. Tristan Konan. Diomande calling for it. Instead it's Sangare who collects. Kosunu. Oh, he lost it. Was he fouled? The game's allowed to go, and Havertz will score! Or will he? Germany have the ball in the back of the net, and once again, their celebrations are cut short.
It's interesting officiating because it looked as though there was a foul right there. The referee gets a good look at it and lets play continue. Not sure if he wasn't sure who the contact was initiated by, but then makes a decision after the fact that he waves the goal off. That was a little bit strange, I have to admit.
I suppose the first thing to pick out of that is, in the end, it's the right call, isn't it? It was a foul. Just imagine there was a bit of communication maybe from the assistants to just confirm to the referee that there was contact there. And there was contact there as well on Musiala.
Yeah, the officials are certainly going to let play run a little bit because obviously they've got the backup of VAR. Something they missed something, so they don't want to pull play back quickly. And there's a good look at the finish, which was found the back of the net for the second time for Germany, both of them disallowed.
Kimmich over the ball here, with a fair bit of height to aim for. Guided in. Schlotterbeck had a swing, and up and away it goes, and now a breakaway of note perhaps. A terrific little bit of play, but some strong defending as well to stop Amad Diallo in his tracks. Last few minutes of the first half here. Both sides giving it everything. Musiala. Wirtz will hit it. And there were bodies thrown in the way. So in the end, the only thing conceded is a corner.
Good example of how quickly you have to move the ball, how precise your touch has to be out of your feet. It looks as though the shot's going to be getting on target. Goes down by 3 Cote d'Ivoire players so quickly. Deflection and another corner for Germany.
Everybody apart from Diomande back here for Cote d'Ivoire. Tar is fighting for it. And the strike hits a fair few in the crowd before it is dug away to safety. Throwing just halted momentarily. As there was a possible check. On we go as Musiala is prevented from getting possession. Super feet from Christinau. And now Diomande. Taking on Brown, who's just for a moment over on this near side. It's worth noting at this point that only one side has conceded the opening goal at this FIFA World Cup finals and gone on to win. That was Korea Republic, matchday 1. They went behind to Czechia before emerging victorious by 2-1. Germany more than capable of a recovery, of course, and with plenty of time in which to find their feet in front of goal.
Interesting they brought Brown over to this side because Kimmich was struggling against Diomande, I have to say. It looks as though they're going to stick with that. Kimmich has now moved over to the left-back position.
Brown steps in and steps forwards. Of course, he is so effective going forward as well as being part of a defensive quartet.
Yes, and when he makes those runs forward, they're going to switch over here again. It's just going to move back into the right back situation. Diomande standing with about an acre of space. It's been electrifying at times in this first half.
Ronnie held it up really well. Ball whipped off his toes, says the referee, and it'll roll the way of Florian Wirtz. Diomande, he tiptoed along the line and just about managed to keep it in. Right in front of his coach, MSV. I think Bonnie would have been offside had he chased that one down. Germany have had 2 goals that weren't. Therefore, their only attempt on target of the half so far, the 10th minute header from Kai Havertz. Sane. Took a few to stop him. least 7 minutes of additional time at the end of this half. It's Mecha. Sane. Getting away from Cote, but Agbadou sending it behind. Kimmich. Not on its way in. Cote away. Morris Schlotterbeck. Havertz trying to make it his. Mecha with a powerful effort, repelled by Cote. Now a chance to gallop clear by Wilfried Singer. Who for a fair while showed a clean pair of heels to Germany. But for Felix Mecha, displayed his athleticism.
Yeah, Mecha showing some pace there. It was going to be an interesting track meet between the two of them. Germany have looked good in build-up and possession, lacking an end product, and wondered about that coming into this tournament. Who's going to be the talisman up front that would be able to regularly score goals, or whether they're going to have to mix it around. So far, they've found it difficult to find the back of the net legally.
Schlotterbeck. Beautifully done for Brown, who is trying to tuck it into the path of Havertz, it would seem. Amad Diallo trying to win the ball, having to be a little careful. Germany saying he wasn't. Julian Nagelsmann leading the calls for a penalty or free kick on the cusp of the area from the touchline.
Yeah, let's have a look as he comes in the box. It looks as though if there was any contact, it was outside the box. Took a step and Ciala goes down. The referee's well placed. I think he got that one right.
Just adds to the frustration, though, doesn't it, from their point of view? Building when they've had a fair bit of control in this half.
Yeah, they'll feel as though they're a little hard done by. You've got to forget that when you get back in the game.
Cote d'Ivoire looking to step up the pace. They win a corner of their own after some terrific work from Bonny, who's been a really good focal point for them so far.
He has, and that, here's another look at the foul potentially on the top of the box. And if there was a foul, it was outside the box. Here's the referee's angle of it. A little bit of a clip, but not a penalty.
Cote d'Ivoire corner. Everyone back for Germany here this time. Wanted away easily by Brown. Bowen being counted down. He's getting dangerously close to the point where patience runs out. Diamande just relished this first half, hasn't he? Staying as wide as he can and often getting one-on-one with his German opponent. Christie now stepping up the pace, trying to get it back. Diamande's onto it. Clever dancing feet of his, looking to do some damage and then working hard defensively too.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, he's going to be one of those players, I think, at the end of this tournament, potentially the the world's going to know much better and how dangerous he actually can be. Giving Germany fits in the first half at times.
Well, striking the hand of Agbadou there, but probably fall into the category from years ago of ball to hand. Wirtz, Havertz, Pavlovic, forcefully helped off the ball by Amad Diallo, who's physically not one of the game's big hitters, but put up a good fight there. Wirtz, Pavlovic, and again from Brown. Steps Cotonou. One of the 5 players brought into this Cote d'Ivoire starting lineup today. Space for Metcher. Whether it was a push and touch for Havertz or he was trying to take it with him, only he will know. Ivory Sane back on defensive watch. Metcher, Musiala. Now Havertz. Kimmich. Ivory Sane. Lovely feet. Wirtz dancing through and then just trying to poke it past Fofana. They just ran out of steam at the vital moment.
They've come so close. Like I said, they're interchanging of positions and their passing in tight quarters has been brilliant at times. It's just the final touch, the final effort that has in trouble Fofana.
And that is half-time, and the feeling is one of frustration for Germany. It's Cote d'Ivoire's game as we reach the break. Frank Kessier's finished the difference. Germany enjoying an element of control, frustrated by 2 goals being disallowed and by a disciplined Cote d'Ivoire defence. At the break, the Africans lead. Germany 0, Cote d'Ivoire 1.
What brings you the most joy when you're playing?
I love when I'm running fast and I break away with the ball, and everyone else is
Chevrolet, the #1 selling vehicle in the Rio Grande Valley.
Welcome to fitting in. Welcome to standing out.
Round of 32 as group winners. For the latest, here's Jenny Taft.
The U.S. men's national team arrived back to their base camp hotel in Laguna Beach around 9 p.m. last night, still riding an incredible high from their win over Australia. Now, I had a chance to catch up with Austin Trusty today. I asked him where was the team when they found out they'd won the group. He said they were all having dinner together. They were watching the end of Turkey-Paraguay, and his reaction was excitement. The chemistry and camaraderie of this team right now is at an all-time high. I also spent some time with Mauricio Pochettino today in his office. He said, it's great we won the group, but that was the plan all along, and our approach will be to win against Turkey. But a couple key advantages to winning the group early in terms of travel planning, knowing they're going to Santa Clara, more time to scout. It's great to win the group. It's even better to do it with a game to go.
Thanks, Jenny. In that game she talks about against Turkey is on Thursday in Los Angeles. The Americans with a chance to win all 3 group games at a World Cup for the very first time. Now, earlier today, the Netherlands were 5-1 winners over Sweden in Houston. Cote Gakpo found the back of the net twice in the second half as the Dutch earned their first victory in Group F. For our moment of the half, sponsored by Visa, Frank Kessié becomes the second oldest World Cup goal scorer for Ivory Coast after a certain Didier Drogba 16 years ago. Not a bad man to follow. 1-0. What can Germany muster up next?
Delivery for Kaka. 5 stars to you.
DoorDash.
It's my party, you're invited, and all your friends too. You don't have to knock, you can come right in. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house.
My chewy duo.
How we're made determines how far we go. So for those who are strong, those who are powerful, those who aren't afraid to push their limits, the world of greater awaits. Greater journeys, greater experiences, greater memories. The first ever Kia Telluride Turbo Hybrid is ready.
This little light of mine has been dark for quite some time. Then I let in the light to help see more of the light inside of me.
I needed more from my antidepressant, so my doctor added Caplyta, proven to provide greater relief from depression symptoms than an antidepressant alone. building on my progress without starting over. Weight gain and reported sexual side effects were not common.
Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Caplyta is not approved for dementia-related psychosis. Call your doctor about newer sudden mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts right away. Antidepressants may increase these risks. Report fever, confusion, stiff muscles, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High cholesterol and weight gain may occur, as can high blood sugar, which may be fatal. Common side effects are sleepiness, dizziness, nausea, dry mouth, feeling tired, and diarrhea. These aren't all the side effects.
Ask your doctor about Caplyta.
Help see more of the light inside of me.
With Kalshi, you can make predictions on anything.
Predictions? I'm the special one. I see things before they happen. This shot of crossbar. Midfield crossing to header. You see him? On the way home, he will get caught in the rain, and then his girlfriend will leave him. But he keeps the dog.
Tonight, the group stage heats up on FS1. It's Ecuador, Curacao. Then Tunisia faces Japan.
What a moment for Japan!
The 2026 FIFA World Cup tonight on FS1.
FIFA World Cup 2026 on Fox is presented by Lay's.
More shots and more possession from Germany, but they find themselves a goal down at the break against Ivory Coast. Nico Schlotterbeck is off, by the way, for Germany. They're putting on, Julian Nagelsmann putting on Antonio Rudiger. Let's get you back. Warren Barton is alongside Jackie Oatley.
Thank you, Rebecca. And Germany have made a change for the start of the second half. Nico Schlotterbeck apparently hasn't recovered from that ankle roll, which happened early in the first half, and he soldiered on, but now he's been replaced by the Real Madrid centre-half, vastly experienced, winning his 84th cap, Antonio Rudiger. We did wonder, Warren Barton, whether there might be any other changes, anything tactical in terms of personnel, in terms of approach. We await to see whether there are any tactical tweaks, but not in terms of otherwise the personnel. What do you think that the head coach of Germany, Julian Nagelsmann, had to say to his side at half-time?
Play with a quicker tempo in the final third. Your wide players, when you do get the ball, be more positive, particularly Sané on that right-hand side, where he gets a lot of the ball, but a lot of it is very comfortable, just very simple to play in. Rudiger's gone to that right side. Schlotterbeck was more left-footed, so Charles had to come over here and play, which is more than able to do.
Amad Diallo taking on Browse, that lovely little flick in the general direction of Bonny. Winning just his third cap since switching allegiance from France. Lai. Corner on the left back having a crack. He's hurt himself in the process. 30-year-old who used to play in Saudi Arabia with Cristiano Ronaldo, now playing in Portugal with Gil Vicente. Didn't say tar for that.